What if Ty Borden walked through the barn doors one more time? What if, just for a moment, Amy saw his smile again? For years, fans believed that chapter was over. But now, with whispers of a shocking return, everyone's asking the same thing. Graham Wardle, really coming back to Heartland? And if he is, what does it mean for the show? For Amy, and for all of us who never stopped missing him. Ty Borden was more than just a character. He was the heart of Heartland. From the first time he rode onto the ranch as a troubled teen, Ty became someone fans could believe in. He changed, he healed, and he helped Amy find her own strength. For over a decade, they grew up together, facing storms, losses, and love. That's why his exit in season 14 didn't just shock fans, it broke something deep inside them. When Ty was shot in season 13, no one thought it would be fatal. He survived the moment, stood strong by Amy's side, and seemed to recover. That made the first episode of season 14 even more painful. Ty suddenly collapsed from a blood clot and died in front of Amy and their young daughter Lindy. No warning, no goodbye, just silence, tears, and a world left colder without him. It wasn't just Amy who lost her husband, it was every viewer who had grown to love him over the years. The scenes that followed were raw and real. Amy grieving in quiet moments, Jack trying to stay strong for everyone, and Lindy too young to understand that her father would never come back. Heartland shifted that day. The warmth we knew now carried a shadow. Even though the show continued, something felt missing. Tais' death was a turning point. Many fans cried watching that episode. Others stopped watching altogether, saying it just wasn't the same anymore. The loss felt too real. And it wasn't only about losing a favorite character, it was about losing the journey, the bond, and the love story they had all believed in. The writers tried to bring hope. Amy slowly found ways to heal. She focused on Lindy, the horses, and the ranch, but Ty's memory never left. He was in every room, every sunset, every quiet moment of silence. That's why fans kept asking, is this really the end? Or could Ty return, even just once? And now, as season 19 approaches, new rumors suggest that maybe, just maybe, it isn't the end after all. Could Ty still ride again? It wasn't the writers. It wasn't a sudden plot twist. The truth is, Graham Wardle, the man behind Ty Borden, chose to step away. And that choice broke a million hearts. For over 13 seasons, Graham was more than just a fan favorite. He became a symbol of calm, kindness, and quiet strength. Viewers didn't just watch Ty grow, they felt they knew him. His bond with Amy wasn't just acting, it felt real. That's what made his decision to leave even harder to accept. But Graham wasn't just leaving a role. He was searching for something deeper. In his own words, Graham said he needed space to explore life beyond Heartland. He wanted to focus on personal growth, spiritual journeys, and new creative paths. He started his own podcast. He traveled, he reflected. He wanted to experience the world in a way he couldn't while filming year after year. His soul was calling for change. If it meant letting go of something he loved, fans didn't take it easily. Some felt abandoned. Others respected his honesty. But almost everyone wished he could have stayed just a little longer. It didn't feel right without him. Still, Graham remained open with the audience. He explained his reasons. He thanked the fans. And he made it clear it wasn't a decision made lightly. But here's the part that's stirring new hope. Graham never closed the door completely. In interviews, he hinted that maybe, one day, Ty could return. Not for a full season, but maybe for a moment, a memory, a scene that gives Amy and the fans the closure they never truly got. That tiny possibility is what kept people watching, listening, hoping. Now, as whispers grow louder and season 19 approaches, some fans are starting to believe that day may finally come. Did Graham Wardle's journey away from Heartland just bring him right back home? It started with a single photo. Not from CBC, not from the official Heartland account, but from Graham Wardle's own page. A peaceful, quiet image, just him standing in a wide, open field. That looked suspiciously like Alberta, like the Heartland ranch. And that's all it took. Fans didn't scroll past, they zoomed in. They compared the trees, the fences, even the color of the dirt. Comments exploded. Is he back? That's the barn, right? Tell me I'm not crazy. Tais returning. The image had no caption, no confirmation. But it didn't need one. To the fans, the silence was louder than any words. Then came the podcast moment. Graham appeared on a live stream just weeks before filming for season 19 was set to begin. A fan asked casually, "Would you ever come back to Heartland?" Graham smiled, not a big smile, just a knowing one. He didn't say yes, but he didn't say no either. He paused, then said, "Sometimes stories need space, and sometimes they circle back." That was all it took. Social media lit up again, theories, breakdowns, even YouTube frame-by-frame videos picking apart everything: his tone, his eyes, the background sounds. Was he already on set? Was he teasing an episode? Or was this a planned surprise that had slipped out too soon? Not long after that, Heartland's production team posted a behind-the-scenes picture. It showed Amy and Lindy on set, standing beside a shadowy figure in the distance. No face, no name, just a male figure walking toward them. And just like that, the fan theories exploded. Some said it's just a stunt double. Others were convinced it was Graham. Even outlets started picking up the story. Tais Return to return in season 19. Here's what we know. The showrunners stayed silent. Cast members avoided the question in interviews. And that silence made everything even more suspicious, too. Many. This isn't just wishful thinking anymore. It's a slow build-up to something big. Something emotional. Something unforgettable. Because if Graham Wardle is coming back heaven for just one scene, Heartland fans deserve to know what truly happened to Tais. And maybe it's time. Asterisk, the second the rumors started, fans became detectives. Old episodes were rewatched, trailers were paused every 2 seconds. Every scene, every background figure, every off-camera voice suddenly became a possible clue. In the Heartland fandom, logic took a back seat and hope took the wheel. One of the most popular theories. Tais never really died. Yes, fans saw him collapse. Yes, Amy cried beside him. But what if that scene was a misdirection? Some believe that he was taken into emergency care and hidden away for protection, maybe even as part of a secret storyline that wasn't ready to be told back in season 14. They say the death was just a placeholder. Until now, another theory. Graham Wardle will return, but not as Tais in the flesh. Instead, as a spirit or dream that appears to Amy or Lindy. Fans point out that Heartland has used emotional visions before, and this would be a powerful, beautiful way for Amy to finally speak to him again. Some even believe Tais could come back just once to guide Amy through a moment of crisis, or to give Lindy a message she desperately needs to hear. There's also a wilder idea: an alternate timeline. Some fans think a special episode could show what if Tais had survived. A single dreamlike chapter where Amy imagines what life would have been like with him still by her side. Heartland has always been a grounded show, but it's never been afraid to get emotional and personal. And with season 19 rumored to be full of surprises, nothing feels too far-fetched. Hashtags began trending. Hashtag Tais returns, hashtag bring back Tais, and hashtag Heartland miracle. Some fans even started petitions, begging the writers and producers to bring Graham back, even if just for a few minutes. Artists made digital posters of Amy and Tais reuniting. Fanfiction sites exploded with stories imagining that moment: the hug, the tears, the silence that would speak louder than words. And here's what's most interesting. The cast has been unusually quiet. Amber Marshall, who plays Amy, was asked in a recent Q&A if Tais would ever return. She smiled softly and said, "Anything's possible in Heartland." That was it. No denial. No yes. But no closing of the door. To the fans, that wasn't just a vague answer. That was a spark. A wink. A promise. And now, with every post, every behind-the-scenes photo, and every pause-filled interview, the theory feels less like a dream and more like a countdown. Could season 19 finally give us the reunion we never thought we'd see? Asterisk, for a show that usually keeps its storylines quiet, Heartland's silence about Tais Return has been louder than ever. Not one official statement has confirmed Graham Wardle's return, but not one has denied it either. And that strange quiet is exactly what's making fans believe something big is coming. Let's start with the producers. When season 19 was announced, longtime Heartland producer Michael Weinberg gave a short interview about powerful emotional arcs, unfinished stories, and faces from the past. When asked if those past faces included Tais Return, he didn't say no. Instead, he smiled and said, "Heartland is all about family, and sometimes family finds its way back." It wasn't a confirmation, but it was enough to send fans racing to social media. Then there's Amber Marshall, Emmy Fleming herself. She's done more interviews than anyone. But when the topic of Tai comes up, she becomes different, quieter, almost careful. In one video interview, when asked directly, "Is Graham coming back?" she paused, smiled, and simply said, "I think fans will feel seen this season. That's all." But it said more than a full paragraph ever could. Other cast members have played it just as mysteriously. Sean Johnston, who plays Jack, was asked if he missed acting with Graham. He nodded and said, "We all miss him, some more than others. But you never know when someone might walk back into the barn." The interviewer laughed, but Sean didn't. He looked serious, thoughtful, even a little emotional. That moment became a clip that fans shared everywhere, and behind the scenes, something else has been happening. Set photos shared on social media keep disappearing. A blurry shot of a man walking behind Amber and Michelle Morgan-Lew was uploaded by a crew member, then deleted, just hours later. Fans who saved the image claimed the figure had Graham's build and posture. Nothing was confirmed. But why remove it? Even Heartland's social media accounts have been acting differently. They've reposted older videos of Tai and Amy, shared romantic montages, even quoted scenes from Tai's final episodes, stirring up emotions that had finally started to settle. But why now? Why bring up Tai again unless there's more to come? Fans believe the show is planting seeds, slowly, quietly, and intentionally. There are no bold headlines or flashy promotions, just hints, glimpses, half smiles from the cast, and soft echoes of the past. And maybe that's how Tais Return will return, not with a loud announcement, but with a quiet moment that takes your breath away, one scene, one look, and the feeling that nothing was ever really over. Because if Heartland has taught us anything, it's that love never truly dies, and neither do the characters who made us believe in it. The question fans keep asking isn't just is Tai coming back, it's deeper than that. It's how could he come back and still make sense? After all, in the world of Heartland, everything is grounded in real emotions. Nothing is rushed, nothing is fake. So if Graham Wardle is returning as Tais Return in season 19, the moment would need to be unforgettable and completely true to Heartland's soul. Some believe the return won't be in the real world, but in Amy's dreams, a quiet moment where she walks through the barn, hears a voice, turns, and there he is. Not as a ghost, not as a fantasy, but as a memory coming alive. In that moment, they don't need to speak. Their eyes do all the talking. Maybe she asks a question she's kept locked inside for years. Maybe he gives her the strength to move forward. Then, he's gone. But something in her has changed forever. Others imagine a special episode told through Lindy's eyes. She's older now, growing. Curious, she finds an old photo of her father and asks Jack about him. That's when the story unfolds. Maybe Jack shares a never-before-seen memory. Maybe we flash back to a day when Tai was still alive, a day we've never seen, but always felt in our hearts. It wouldn't break the timeline. It wouldn't erase his death. But it would give us one last piece of him we didn't know we needed. And then, there's the boldest idea of all. A short arc where Tai never actually died. Maybe he was taken to a secret facility for surgery. Maybe he was in a coma and kept hidden to protect his family. It sounds wild, but Heartland has done surprises before. Could this be their biggest one yet? But even if Tai never returns as flesh and blood, fans believe his presence can still reshape the story. Maybe Graham comes back just long enough to shoot a message to Lindy, a letter he wrote before his surgery, a video he never got to send. Imagine Lindy hearing his voice for the first time. Imagine Amy seeing her daughter cry, not out of sadness, but because she finally knows who her father was. And here's something else to consider. What if Graham Wardle comes back not just as Tai but as something more? Maybe he plays a new character in a future dream. Maybe he narrates an episode. Maybe he becomes a part of Heartland's legacy in a way no one expected. It wouldn't be the first time shows used actors in creative ways to honor the past while building something new, no matter how it happens. Or if it happens at all, one thing is clear. Tais Return's story isn't over. Not in Amy's heart, not in Lindy's future, and not in the minds of the fans who never let go. Because when someone touches your life that deeply, a part of them always finds a way back. So here we are after all the rumors, the subtle hints, and the emotional waves, asking the one question that won't go away. Is Graham Wardle really returning as Tais Return in Heartland Season 19? If you're looking for a clear answer, the truth is, there isn't one. Not yet. No official announcement has confirmed it. Graham himself has stayed quiet. The producers haven't made a public statement, and the trailers for season 19 haven't shown his face, not even for a second. But sometimes, silence says more than words ever could. Look closer, and you'll see it. In the way Amber Marshall chooses her words. In the behind-the-scenes images that feel just a little too mysterious. In the sudden focus on Tai and Amy's love story, and reposts, tributes, callbacks to seasons past. It all feels like the calm before an emotional storm. Like the show is preparing us for something big, something unforgettable. And even if Graham Wardle doesn't return in the way fans hope, something else is just as important. Ty Borden never truly left. His love, his legacy, his quiet strength still shape every episode. Amy carries it, Lindy lives it, and fans feel it. But maybe, just maybe, this is the season where he returns, not just as a memory, but as a moment, a scene, a heartbeat that reminds us why we loved him in the first place. Because Heartland is not just about horses or ranch life. It's about healing, about holding on, about never giving up on the people you love. So is it really true? Has Graham Wardle agreed to return? We don't know for sure. But we'll be watching, we'll be hoping, and when that barn door creaks open, Amy turns around, we'll all be holding our breath, waiting to see if it's finally him. Until then, stay close to Nextdoor, because if Ty Borden does return, you'll hear it here first. The story's not over. In fact, it may be just beginning.